Welcome to the show, Five Stripe fam. I'm AJ. And wherever it is you get your pods, subscribe, share, and leave us a good rating. Welcome to another episode of Five Stripe Weekly, and Atlanta United unfortunately fell 3-1 to Nashville SC at Geodis Park. Ooh, it's a little shop of horrors there at Geodis. And Hani Mukhtar, he got 3 assists and a goal against us. And he looked very much every bit of the MVP that much of the league saw last year. But Atlanta United, were without Yorgos Yakumakis. And the Thiago Almada penalty kick was not enough. But yeah, this match, we conceded from a set piece and a couple of counters, and that set piece, Clement Diop, he was nowhere to be found on that corner. He tried to punch it, but he was pretty much erased from the play when a couple of Atlanta United players were in front of him, pretty much, and he pretty much had to kind of land on the sidelines, as it was a gaping goal for the first goal for Nashville. And I mean, Fava Picault, he was a dangerous player in this match. Also, Walker Zimmerman, when he went on walkabouts every single time, it was heart and mouth for Atlanta United fans, because he was able to find a lot of space against us. Definitely something that's, I think, some of our center backs need to incorporate. But it really, I think, bore open as well, really, when we brought on and changed our system, but we'll get to that. But basically 2-0 Nashville. There's that counter attack for the second goal in the 56th minute. And Mukhtar, he just did a couple step-overs and, cracked a shot outside. Diop made a stop, but unfortunately Teal Bunbury, who made a really long-busting run up the middle of the field, he grabbed the rebound and he put it away. 2-0. 56 minutes, but we were able to get one back in the 72nd minute. Matteo Sosetto, he was tripped inside the box. VAR was pretty much called into action, and they awarded us a penalty kick. Thiago Almada, he went and took it, and there was the bit where Taylor Twellman, he was basically mentioning that, Almada, his penalties are generally down the middle, and Joe Willis, he was pretty much frozen in the middle of the goal, but Almada, he put it just slightly to Joe Willis's left, just enough. He was frozen, couldn't do anything about it, just low enough, and it's 2-1. Looks like it's game on, but it's definitely, we're still chasing the match, and another counter attack. Mukhtar, he carried the ball forward on another counter, and he sent a diagonal ball to Jacob Schaffelberg, and the young kid, Schaffelberg, he did the rest of the work. He shot near post, and he beat Diop and both a retreating Miles Robinson and Luis Abram. And Abram, I don't know, man. It looked kind of bad there, for pretty much a 2-against-1. We still concede. Not pretty. And, pretty much 3-1, death knell in the game. When you have Machop Chol start up top and look largely ineffective, unfortunately, he found himself more on the wing. And then when Miguel Berry came in and pretty much was a non-factor, it just very much, it's a lackluster game without really, it's a pretty toothless attack when you don't have Yorgos Yakumakis to be able to hold up the ball, to be able to work super hard on attack and defense. I mean, it's just a bit rough. And so you did also see Luis Araujo. He got subbed in the second half. You saw Derek Etienne play on the right for the first time, and I mean, he looked kind of dangerous. Looked where he was trying to get involved immediately, and had a little bit of a pullback as well. Miguel Berry, he did have a nice little kind of work rate where he worked hard and was able to nutmeg a man in the box and was able to find an open man for a shot. But it is ultimately it's just too little too late in this match. We were not able to hold strong with our defense on the counterattack. It was pretty much like a New York Red Bull game where they pressed us up high and we just kept looking susceptible. We just pretty much played right into their hands. And Nashville didn't have a lot of possession. They had 34% possession, but they had 2.39 xG to our 1.42. And we just largely looked where I kind of wish we were just not as anemic in midfield. We essentially are passing it around back, and then when we get into the midfield, there's no connection of the lines. We can't get it to our attackers in good spaces, and our midfielders, Sosa and Josetu, don't really look like they have a lot of chemistry either. So it's just, I mean, even with our 88% pass accuracy, I mean, Nashville with 74%, they looked a lot more dangerous than we did, and this is very much a New York Red Bulls type of match, and it is very, very unfortunate. But so it's 3-1. That does it for the match review, and we will be playing Inter Miami, and I'll have that match preview later on in this episode. But let's get into the news. And the primary transfer window closed last week. April 24th was the last date that Adelaide United could request for a player under contract in another country or make a trade with another MLS club. And so in terms of of course all the new players that came in, but there was apparently some action in terms of some interest on Thiago Almada and center back Miles Robinson. Now, in terms of the bit of interest, Bocanegra, he mentioned that you can imagine the interest he gets as well, the spotlight that's around him, and you see his quality on the field, right? So it's not going to be anything new. We've dealt with this situation, unfortunately, at the club before him, but ultimately, it will be collaborative with the kid, with the club. Does it make sense for all parties? When does that time come? So that's how we're addressing it. We'd love to win a championship this year, and we really want Thiago to be part of that. So it seems like they're trying to keep him past the summer, but it also is probably just paper talk as well when, you want to keep your player, and so, you can raise your transfer fee as high as possible. And, some people have touted it as high as 30 and 40 mil. But on to Miles Robinson, whose contract ends this season. Bocanegra, he did talk about how obviously they'd like to pay Miles Robinson DP money, but obviously it's also up to Miles Robinson for making his decision whether he wants to stay or not, or maybe try to make a move to Europe, or maybe around the league where he can maybe fetch DP money. Because, well, if Robinson is the DP, well, then somebody has to go. I think one of those people that is the obvious one would be Luis Araujo. And Luis Araujo, though, Carlos Bocanegra, he is penning him to regain his form. I think you will probably scratch your head a little bit at that statement, as you maybe wonder what form with Luis Araujo, but it is one of those, I mean, every one of his stops. He hasn't really reached double digits, and he's a player that seems a little bit like a head case when he loses his confidence. So, but yeah, it is definitely going to be an interesting offseason / the next transfer window. So we will see how that goes. But in terms of some housekeeping, in terms of LA United, there is some scheduling snafus. LAFC and Leon will be playing at BMO Stadium on June 4th, which our June 3rd match that's at the Bank of California Stadium is on the 3rd. So, yeah, obviously it will be moved, it might be probably within some fixture congestion, and that definitely stinks for the people that maybe were buying tickets to go to that match in LA. But so we'll find out when that match is. Let's move on to Atlanta United 2, and Atlanta United 2 defeated Philadelphia Union 2 1-0 Sunday night at Fifth Third Bank Stadium. And Kareem Tamimi scored his first professional goal, and 17-year-old academy player Sean Lanza started in his professional debut. And it's a third consecutive win for the first time in club history. And Atlanta United 2 climbed to third in the Central Division and will be playing for their fourth win in a row on over the weekend. But that does it for the news and gets us to the match preview. And 7:30 on Saturday, Inter Miami. We will be playing them at Drive Pink Stadium. And they're a team that's they're a little bit just helter-skelter. They are not a team that look all that good right now. They are in very poor form, and one has to think that Phil Neville is on the hot seat. But key departures from last season: Gonzalo Higuain, he announced his retirement at the end of 2022. Alejandro Pozuelo, he lasted just half a season and as well as Damian Lowe. But of course, the key acquisition, Josef Martinez, is now with Inter Miami, and he's our former MLS MVP, and currently he's played 7 matches and he's got no goals. Really hate to see that for El Rey, but it is the case at the moment. And as well, Sergei Kristoff, as well as Nicholas Stefanelli, are a couple of the defender and attackers, respectively, that have joined the squad as well. But over this weekend, it will be a very makeshift midfield for Inter Miami. According to reports, Jean Mota, he suffered an LCL injury and will undergo surgery. They say he will be out 4 to 6 months. And Captain Gregor, he's out until around September, as well as Rodolfo Pizarro. He is doubtful this weekend with the knock. So, we have maybe a midfield to pretty much boss that if all goes well. But onto the predictions from the league pundits this year. They had them finishing as low as 14th and as high as 6th. Very, very interesting. I don't know about 6th at this point, but 14th seems to be about it, or the wooden spoon, of course, as well. But last year they were able to finish 6th in the East. But they did exit in round 1 of the Eastern Conference MLS Cup playoffs. But let's get into the unavailable players for Atlanta United. Ozzy Alonso, he's been training with the team, so looks a little bit likely that he could maybe make a squad or something, maybe. Bergzan, of course, is out 8 to 10 weeks. Yorgos Makakis, he's still dealing with hamstring injuries, and he has been ruled out for Saturday. And as well as Ibarra, he has been entered into concussion protocol. Seems like that probably was a training ground injury. But let's get into the predicted starting 11 then. So Diop between the sticks, I would say. Lennon, Robinson, Purata, and Gutman in defense. You have Sosa as the defensive midfielder, and I think Sejdic pairs with him as Josetu and Sosa don't look like they have a ton of chemistry here at the moment. But yeah, and into attack, Luis Araújo on the right, Caleb Wiley on the left. I think we changed this up a little bit. And yeah, on the road, I think we might do something a little bit different here. I think Derek Etienne plays at the 10, and Thiago Almada plays a false 9. That might allow some of our players to get up a little bit higher up on the pitch. And, you know, you might see Etienne and Almada interchange. What do you guys think? Should Chol, Barry start, or do you think Almada at the false 9 might work? Let us know in the comments below. But yeah, let's get to the score prediction then. It's on the road, but I think because of this midfield, I think we might be able to boss it a bit. I think it's a 2-1 win, and LA United will walk away with the 3 points. What do you guys think? Get at us in those comments. But that pretty much does it for the match preview and pretty much the entire episode, except for the question of the day. And the question of the day is, who should be our number 6? Let us know in those comments below. Should it be Sosa? Should it be Franco Ibarra? I mean, we have seen a little bit of a dip in our form since Franco Ibarra has left due to red card suspension and also injury, of course, but as well, Yorgos Nakomakis is a big glaring miss as well. But yeah, get at us in those comments below. So, guys, that's it for the episode. Remember to share, like, comment, subscribe. I've been AJ. Remember to do all that stuff. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.